What's up, y'all? This is Erik Griffin, and big shout out today to Helix Sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to the mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Find your perfect mattress at helixsleep.com/Griffin. Yeah.
Rachel.
You're so rude.
Let's start the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to your absolutely favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah, yeah, yeah! This is Riffin with Riffin! Whoa, 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 whoa! Yeah, yeah, yeah! And we're Riffin with Riffin! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah, 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 yeah! I was kind of jamming there for a second and not even saying nothing. I really love my theme song. Yeah. Shout out once again to Dopa Pie. And everybody, welcome back. Welcome to Riffin with Griffin. All right, we're here back. Riffin with Griffin. Welcome back. Once again, I'm at the Erik Griffin desk. I'm at my streaming desk, you know. She got a lot of stuff going on. I got to go. I booked this movie, so I got to fly to New York. So I got all kinds of stuff all over the place. So I had to do my podcast at my desk. So, yep, things are happening. It's going great. So let's just get into it. Oh, once again, you know, I'm here every week with Riffin with Griffin, and I stream most days. I'm streaming on Twitch at Erik Griffin Gaming on Twitch, and then I put those videos up on YouTube, Erik Griffin Gaming. I actually streamed on YouTube the other day just to try it out, for I haven't done it in a while. So, but you can see a lot of the videos I do. I put them up on YouTube, and I've got some more. I'm getting my guy Wiggy. He's gonna start doing some videos for the what do you call it, for the gaming too. So I'll put more of that kind of stuff up. I'm just trying to do more content. I'm just getting real busy. But before I even go on even further, guys, I want to give a shout out to this dude, JJ. I don't want to say the name wrong of the watch brand, but it's Monogon, like Genghis Khan. I'm not even sure, so I'm just going to show you right there. You know, it's JJ Monaghan. I wish I knew how to spell it properly, say it properly, but you know. But there it is right there. Bow. You know, really nice watch brand. And he sent Rachel and I his and hers watches. So let me open this up so you guys can see. So he sent his and her watches for Rachel and I. You know, look at that. Pow. His and her watches. Pow. So I want to thank him. It's good stuff. I put them back in the box because I like the boxes and they're nice. But it's you can find them on Instagram too. Just look up Monaghan. I guess I have it right there so you can see. Anyways, so thanks, man. Thanks for the watches. And I know he's been like, what? I need you to say something about it. You know, he's been real like sending messages to Rachel and stuff like, you know, celebrities ghost me. It's like, no, man, I just been busy. This is just, you know, I have to do. It's, you know, there's so much stuff to do and get through, and I just do this, and I always forget. So what I do is I put them aside for myself to make sure. So I do want to, again, thank him for that. Shout out. Really nice watch brand. So make sure you guys check that out. But anyways, you know, I had a great week. You know, I filmed the pilot, Bucktown. You know, as you guys know, I booked that show, Bucktown. It's an ABC pilot. You know, starring Jane Lynch, Shannon Woodward, Nicole Richie. You know, it's like some other people. It's great. So we filmed the pilot, and I just want to go, you know, tell you about it. You know, it was crazy because, like, you know, we rehearsed all week. You know, you rehearse. You know, and then you go run-throughs, run-throughs. So then we had this like run-through on the day we were gonna have a live audience. And the way they're doing a live audience is they have to actually pay the audience. So it's like as if it's part of the production. So you can have like 50 people in the audience, and it's, you know, because it actually, for a multicam, you do need the laughter. You need a real audience. It is part of the production of the show. So it's not like you're like gaming the system. It's like it is important for a multicam to have an audience. So anyways, so we had like 50 people in the crowd. But before that, we had like a run through. We were going to record some stuff, have a run through. And then so, you know, what's big about these network shows is like the network is always watching. And they have a certain idea how they want the thing to go. So we do this run through. And then like I was a little nervous because it was the first time I've seen this. It was like all the cameras and everything was set up. And so I don't know if I like really nailed it, but either way, one of the producers of the show, he like pulls me, like he says, "Hey man, I want to give you a pep talk," you know? And it was nice. We went on like a walk on this, you know, we went on this nice walk, and he was really like, and I could tell it was like, it was important. You know, he was like, "Hey man, like I need you to do what you've been doing for like 2-3 weeks now, you know, do that." Cause whatever was, and I knew it. I knew I needed it. It was great. You know, sometimes you need that. You need like a kick in the ass. You know, sometimes when things are so important, you overthink, you know, and I'm thinking about everything. So I was overthinking. I was like in my head. So he really grounded me, and that was great. So, but even still though, you know, the network is like, well, I'm married to Nicole Richie on the show, you know, so we're like a couple, and we're the lead Shannon Woodward's boss on the show. But they're really a stickler on like, we want to see their relationship, you know, my and Nicole Richie, are they married? So like literally an hour before we're about to record in front of a live audience, the show, we get a new script from this scene that I'm in. A new script, y'all. We've been rehearsing for a week, and they hit you with like, and it's like a lot, like mostly new lines. So forget the rehearsal and everything you've been doing. So I'm already was nervous. So I'm in the hallway like, oh man. So I'm just pacing around, and we went over it a few times, and they have somebody there to help us. So they'll like, you know, read with you. And then we read with the main girl, you know, and it was nerve wracking. But when we finally sat down and we started doing it, it was great. I felt great. The audience response was good. Everybody seemed to be happy. And we finished the show, and it was just like a good feeling. And, you know, people were like, "I haven't hugged anybody in a year, and I'm going to hug you right now." It was just that kind of feeling. So fingers crossed, everybody. It's going to be a while before we find out in terms of Riffin with Griffin timeline, you know, because next week, I won't know by next week, you know. So as I get information, of course, I'll let you guys know. And then obviously, if it doesn't get picked up, then boom, then we're just back to the drawing board, and we're like, you know, looking for work again. So, but it was fun. And that was that. That's what happened there. So, what are some things that I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah. So I got my second COVID shot. I did it today, actually. So I went, and it was like, so when I first got it, I guess it was like one of these things where you could get on like a list, you know, and they have extras. They don't want to waste them. So then they, you know, if nobody comes, then they're like, they reach out to their list. So I got on a list like that through someone. So like 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was like 3 weeks ago, I got my first shot. So then like, but you're supposed to schedule your second shot then. So once you've already got it, you have to schedule the second one. So there was no place to get it at that time. It wasn't as readily available as it is now. I feel like it's way more available. So, you know, kudos to Biden or whoever is in charge of that. You know, this ain't a political thing. I'm just saying, I say Biden because he made a point of being like, we want to make sure we get this many viruses. So that was like a point of emphasis for him. So if it was because of him, then great. If it's because of someone else, whatever you want to believe, I don't care. I'm just saying thank you to whoever that is, because now it's more readily available. But it wasn't when I did it back then. So then I had to schedule someplace, and it was like both of them were far away. So like the original one I did was like 40 miles away from where I live, and then this one is like, you know, I had to go and, you know, 30-minute drive again to get the second one. But, you know, I did it, and they said like, and there was more people there getting it. You could tell they have a whole setup in the CVS. And if you know, you should go to CVS.com. Actually, go to CVS. Shout out to them. They make it real easy to sign up for your thing. You put your insurance. They just make it real easy. So And then, I did the thing, and then the guy was like, wait 15 minutes and see how you feel. Because a lot of people have been saying on the second shot, it's been taking them out. So that made me nervous. And the fact that I got to travel in a couple of days. So I was like, oh no. And then, but the production I'm going to, this movie that I'm doing, they actually asked, hey, has he been vaccinated? And I'm like, yeah, well, he's getting his second one, So it was like I had to do it. But at the same time, what if like tomorrow I'm like, I'm like, so I'm a little like nervous about it right now. But I don't feel anything so far. I mean, I got it in this arm. I mean, my arm is sore, but I'm not necessarily feeling any symptoms. So hopefully, but I've been taking care of myself. I also take a lot of vitamin D. My vitamin D levels are high. My B12, vitamin C. So, I try to like do those types of things to make sure I'm healthy. Healthier, so who knows? We'll see. You guys will know, because if I get taken out, I'll be, we'll talk about it next week. But as of right now, it's been like hours all day, and I don't feel, any kind of like symptoms or anything like that. So we'll see. And then Rachel got her shot. She got the Johnson & Johnson. So she got the one shot, and she didn't feel anything either. Like, her arm was hurting, but she didn't have any like weird side effects or anything like that. So right now I'm like, like if a titty grows on my forehead, then you'll know, something's up with the vaccines. But, it was cool. So I did that. So that's all said and done. That's all out there in the universe. So here I am, I'm ready for open mouth kissing. So you just come up to me and like, are you vaccinated? Yeah, then tongue me. That's what people think it is, but I'm ready to go to this. So I'm doing this movie in New York. It's pretty cool. It's a Ray Romano movie. He like just directing, starring, and producing the movie. And I got this little part. I did like an audition. Like, man, this must have been like it was even before the pilot audition. I did this audition, and you know what? Shout out to my buddy Ben Seward, who's been on the podcast. Because anytime I need to do an audition, I do it with him, like over Zoom. So he'll be my reader. And then we do the audition. But this is I think this is the first one. I think I've booked other things, but this is one of those ones where I call him and go, "We did it, man!" Because it's like that's the audition. So people like the audition, and he's a part of that. So I booked this one. So I called him and I was like, "Yo, man, we did it. We finally booked one of these jobs for these auditions we worked on." So he's like, "So I did help," and I was like, "Well, maybe." No, he probably did help. He's great. Actually, he's great at it. It makes it easy. I'm always thinking that somebody's going to hear him on it and be like, "Hey, who's that guy reading with you? Let's get him in, right?" So, and I'm all about that. I've always been about that. I'm not like one of these people that don't want their friends to shine. I ain't about that at all. I'm all about that. Everybody should shine life. I even remember back in the day, I went to audition for this movie, and my best friend at the time, Jeff, he's still my best friend. We're still like super close. We were both trying to be actors. This is like 20 years ago, it feels like. And I forgot the name of the movie. But anyway, it was an open call for this movie, right? You didn't even need yeah. So I go to the audition and I go in, and then they immediately say to me, the girl goes, "Hey, how old are you?" And I could tell that I wasn't right for the part, but they let me audition anyway. And I could just tell, but I don't know. You know what I mean? But it was like one of those things where they weren't sure. And I was like, well, I have a friend of mine, right? And so I hit up Jeff and I go, "Yo, dude, get over here right now and audition for this. I think you'd be perfect for this." And he booked it. He booked the movie. So that's just one of those moments. I want people to shine, Even saying that, speaking of, it's like kudos to my Steve and Jeremiah. I believe they're starting their own podcast, Scissor Brothers. I saw that. I think I was actually on that episode of Jeremiah Wonders where they were cutting each other's pubic hair with scissors, and now they're calling themselves Scissor Brothers. I don't know if they've done that before, but either way, it's some weird shit. So they did their April Fool's joke of doing they called it Good Friends instead of Bad Friends. They did Good Friends. So then now they're doing they've changed it to Scissor Brothers. So shout out to them. So make sure you check out their podcast. I don't know if it's audio and video or just video, but I don't know. I don't know if they have their whole new thing or if it's still just on Jeremiah's thing or if they're going to start their own channel and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, but make sure you look out for that. You can find them both on their things, DB Weeby Show or Jeremiah Wonders. So make sure you check that out. All right, let's see what else is going on. So, I watched. Oh man, dude, I got to tell you guys, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is so good. Episode 4 of that show was so good. Shout out to Sebastian Stan. He was on I'm Dying Up Here. He's such a good actor. Like, I love what they're doing. I just love it. I love how they're just really exploring these characters and you're seeing like another side. And it's always good when you don't know who the good guys are or who the bad guys are. So spoiler alert right now, if you haven't seen it, and at this point, I don't care. I'm always worried about the spoilers, but this is spoiler alert city right now for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So what I love about what they're doing right now is, and this is always good storytelling, and you see this a lot right now, is where you don't know there's no clear bad guy, there's no clear good guy. Everybody's sort of gray area, and you have to kind of decide who you want to root for or root against. So like the super soldier serum is out there, and the people that have been displaced by the blip, the snap. So Thanos hits the snap, people disappeared for 5 years, now they're back, but the world, what happened? Like imagine, what are we supposed to do if people disappear for 5 years? We're going to move on with our lives. Things are going to change. People have lost their jobs. They've lost their money. They lost their belongings. Everything's gone. And then all of a sudden, half the population, billions of people come back. So there's like a whole thing that's going on in this show about how, people aren't being helped and people, there's people that, so these, so the super soldier serum has been stolen and now in these freedom fighters have taken it. So now they're, you have this person who's like, you think is the villain, and then like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are like trying to, stop her from doing the things that she's doing because they're doing some revolutionary radical stuff. And then they break the dude out of prison, whatever his name is, Venmo or whatever. He's the bad guy from Civil War. And he's like a great character, So like he's like helping them because he has all the old school Hydra contacts, and so he's like he knows where to look, but he's very clear in his objective. He wants to destroy all super soldiers. He thinks that there shouldn't be God amongst men, and he's just one of those people. And he's adamant. Like he kills in the last episode he kills the scientist who recreated the serum. Make sure that serum can never be created. And then in this episode, like the serum, he finds this serum and you think he's going to take it. And I thought that was good because he picks it up and he looks at it. Then he slams it on the ground. He starts stomping all of them, And then like this like new Captain America comes and he like, knocks him out. Now, let's talk about this guy. This new Captain America. Okay, I like what they're doing. Because like I say, you don't know who the good guys are, the bad guys are. So this Captain America is like bitter that he don't have powers, right? That's his thing. He don't got powers. But my problem with this actor, and now listen, there ain't nothing on him. The dude's a great actor. I like what he's doing. But for me, he got resting asshole face, So at first, I've never liked him. But I like that I didn't like him, He comes across like he's the villain. Well, it turns out he's become the villain, What was that movie? Where they say that you live long enough. Oh, Batman. You live long enough till the hero becomes the villain or whatever that saying was. So yeah, so now this Captain America, he gets some serum and he takes it. So now he's like a real Captain America now. So, but he's a dickhead. You know what I mean? But on purpose. I know that they're doing it on purpose. I just wish that he was softer early on so you could kind of root for him and be like, yeah, this is going to be a good Captain America. But the way they did it, it's like you never like him, especially because, we're following our heroes. We're following Falcon and Winter Soldier and Bucky, we're following them and we like what they're doing. We like Sam and Bucky, we like them. So, and they're immediately, and then there's this whole thing about like, why did Sam give up the shield? Captain America, Steve Rogers gave him the shield. You remember at the end of Avengers, and so now he didn't want to take up the mantle of Captain America, and so he gave the shield back to the government, and the government was like, "Well, shit, we need a Captain America." So they pick this like really like decorated soldier who, by the way, and this is why I love what this dude is doing as an actor. Like he's got damage too. Like they had this great scene about like the one guy's telling him like, yeah, man, you're a hero. You did this and that. And he was like, he had this great point. He was like, yeah, they give me medals so I can be reminded of the worst day of my life. Cause like, well, so whatever happened on the battlefield was terrible. Like his people died. You know what I mean? Like, it's like so great how they're delving into like each person's psyche. I love that. So he's a little bitter. He's like, yo, man, if I was a super soldier, that day that my people died, it would be different, right? So he has this, and you already know he's going to take it. Like, I didn't even need, like, there was no doubt that he was going to take that stuff. You know, he needed to take it so he could be like a real Captain America. But then, like, the bad guys, and I don't even know if they're bad guys really now. That's what I love, the gray area in that. You know, they accidentally kill his partner, and then he goes buck wild berserk, and that's how they ended the episode. But everything leading up to that was great. You know, Sam's trying to talk her down. You know, it's like, and then the chicks from Wakanda come. You know, because they remember the bad guy from Civil War. He ended up making the Winter Soldier kill the king of Wakanda. So now these are like the personal guard. You know, bald head, badass chicks, right? This is my only problem though. And this is, I always talk about this, the weird power levels. If you're a super soldier, like Sam Falcon, he don't got no powers other than he got this, you know, flying thing, but he's not super strong. The fact that he can hang with the super soldiers when they fight is ridiculous to me. Okay. So I don't get that. So then like these women come and they beat Captain America's ass. That, to me, what was funny is, you know what made Captain America take the super serum? When he was like, when the black women beat him up. that was the inciting incident for him to be like, you know what? I got to take this super serum so I could be a stronger guy, because these bald head black women beat my ass. So that's what made him take the serum. And he even says that they weren't even super soldiers, and because they just demolished him. So you got these people are here because they're like, yo, we want this dude to killed our king, because they're like the Secret Service of Wakanda, and the king got killed on their watch. So they're like, yo, we're shamed. And then they also have a relationship with Bucky, the Winter Soldier, because when he was living on Wakanda, she helped him, remove that brainwashing stuff from his head. So she helped him, and that was a great scene. And he's all crying, and you're like, oh man, I feel bad for this assassin, you know? And so they help him, so they have this great relationship. And she's like, oh, I give you 8 hours. He's like, look, we need this guy. He's helping us. And so, but that's going to all come to a head. Then of course that guy escapes, you know what I mean? And then I love how they always ended at a good cliffhanger. So this episode 4 was so good. Like, I really hope they keep this going. Like, I hope it's not like one season like Wanda and WandaVision. Oh, please. I hope that they keep this Falcon and the Winter Soldier going. Like, it was completely worth the wait. I was so mad when Disney Plus first came out, and then like a year went by. We had one season of Mandalorian and then nothing else. So we just got finished having like the Mandalorian second season, and then they did WandaVision, and now they have Falcon and Winter Soldier. So it's like, you got to keep it coming, man. Like, if you want to compete with Netflix, that's how you got to do it. You got to be like, boom, 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 boom. Keep putting stuff out. So hopefully they continue with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They go like at least like 2 or 3 seasons. It'll be great. 2 solid seasons. If you give me 2 solid seasons with like movie arcs, I would love that. That would be awesome. Boom. All right. So what else is happening? I did want to talk about something, but we should talk about it real delicately. So let me just look it up. So there was this Draymond Green, the basketball player. He was in the news talking about let's see. He was talking about the pay gap between men and women, and he got into it with, one of these with Megan Rapinoe. I think she's like on the U.S. soccer team, for the women's U.S. soccer team. So let's see. Topic of the day: national team Megan Rapinoe ripped his remarks, saying it's unfortunate that an athlete in Green's position didn't have a more informed opinion. But I'm trying to see, what was his initial opinion. That's what I'd like to see. I don't know. I'm doing this like live on the spot here. Yeah, I agree. He had some kind of tweet. I think he tweeted something, and then But anyways, I think there is obviously a pay discrepancy, but there is something to be said about like the NBA versus the WNBA. Because then I heard, I was watching a sports show and there was some ex-WNBA players who are now sports commentators, and they were talking about, support the WNBA and, buy jerseys and all this kind of stuff. And I have listen, first of all, let's frame the conversation like this. Just because if I take the position like I am not a fan of the WNBA, it doesn't mean I hate women. Like, let's not go there. Like in the same way that if like someone white has a criticism of something that say is predominantly black, but they have a certain criticism of it and it has nothing to do with race. Like, not everything has to do with race and gender. Not everything has to do with that. I understand that is an important thing that's happening right now. It is important. That's why I'm trying to say this. That's why I'm trying to talk about it delicately. But I like talking about things. I like, I'm not afraid to like go in. So like I say, so what I'm about to talk about right now, please don't have ill intent. Don't think that I have any kind of ill intent. I really don't. I'm very supportive of females, women, however you're supposed to say it. Look, you get in trouble for how you even say things, people. But don't put words in my mouth, or don't put words in my intent. I'm telling you right now, I'm super supportive of this. Like, like this show Bucktown is like, there's so many women working on this project. It's crazy. Like 3 of the producers, the director, the executive producer, the writer, the camera operators, the first AD, it was all women, the cast is all women, so it's I'm fully supportive of that, but you should be able to have a discussion about these types of things without it turning into like, some kind of hate mongering or whatever people are going to say. That's not what it is. But just strictly when it comes to and I've talked about this before, I'm not a fan of the WNBA, not because it's women. It's because it's not great. It's not NBA basketball. Look, the fact that the NBA exists, we can't get that out of our head. Basketball is the kind of sport that lends itself to accentuating athleticism. So the strongest, fastest, highest jumping, most athletic person is going to shine in basketball. And that's what we like to see. Yeah, there are other types of players, but we always say about them, oh, they're scrappy, they're smart, because they don't have the athleticism. You look at a guy like Blake Griffin, who, because of injuries, his athleticism went away. It was not as good as it was before. He's not the same player because of that. That's what the NBA does. That's what basketball, it's a very challenging, taxing sport, and the most athletic people are the ones that shine. LeBron James, because we see LeBron James, a dude who's 6'7" with 3% body fat, fast, and can dribble and jump out of the gym, that's what we like. So when you have that in the NBA, you look at the WNBA in comparison, it don't even look like the same sport. So I don't like it. And even in the NBA, I don't even watch all the NBA teams because I don't like, I don't like college basketball the way some people like college basketball. For that same reason, I like basketball at the highest level, and that is the NBA, And there's even teams in the NBA I don't even look at because I'm like, they sorry. You know what I mean? You look at the college basketball. They show mostly Division I on TV. Why? Because it's at the highest level of college basketball. They don't show Division III basketball on TV. It's not on AB. You're not going to see on CBS, the Division III basketball, because they're not as good as the highest level, Division I, and these guys aren't as good as the NBA. So it's like the NBA is the highest level. So when you look at that, you go, and that's the reason why I think the WNBA isn't supported as much as as they want it to be. I think the NBA is doing a great job of like trying to jam it down our throat and like keeping it afloat. Because I from all reports, it's not making any money. From all reports. So when you talk about the pay discrepancy in the NBA, I have a problem with that between NBA and because the WNBA is not bringing in the same money that the NBA is bringing in. And the NBA is fully supporting the WNBA by having these teams and paying these salaries that they have and whatever money comes in from whatever support. But it's not the same kind of support as the NBA. It's not looked at the same. It don't have the same ratings. It don't, and I'm just telling you, I don't like it, so I don't watch. But I don't even like all of the NBA. This is just me. I'm just speaking for me. Like I say, I don't watch every NBA game. I'm not a purist like, oh, I just love watching basketball. That's not what I'm into. So, I like the best players doing best player stuff. So when you watch, the WNBA and these women are great, talented basketball players. They're tall, they're fast for what they do, but it ain't the NBA. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's why, and I think a lot of people feel that way, but it always gets framed in like, sexism and you don't like women, or it always gets framed where it's men versus women. And to me, it's not about that. To me, it's about this is the basketball at its highest level and what it looks like. Now, that being said, other sports, it's not the same. Like women's tennis, I like women's tennis way better than men's tennis. I think that's where super athleticism counts against you. The strength, where it's just all hard serves. I think the women's tennis is a way, and men's tennis and women's tennis, they look the same. So when you're watching them on TV, even if the men are a little bit more athletic, a little faster, it's still, when you're watching them side by side, you don't see the big difference. When you watch an NBA game, you're like, they're zipping up and down the court, they're jumping and dunking and all the things that they're doing. When you watch an WNBA game, it don't feel the same. It's not as exciting because of the lack of what the men's basketball has. But in tennis, you don't have that. And that's why women's tennis players get paid so much money. They get paid a lot of money. And they're probably still, I know that there's still a pay gap. But in a sport like tennis, I'm with you 100%. What are we doing? We should find ways to like level the playing field and support women more in those type of sports. I'm a women's volleyball fan. I love women's volleyball. I wish there was a pro women's volleyball league. I would love that if they had because I don't know if you ever watch women's volleyball. It is so exciting. It's like a slam dunk every single play. The bump set spike, the intensity of volleyball. I love volleyball, so that's just me. So when I see I like men's volleyball, I like women's volleyball, but they look very similar. The things that happen is very similar looking. There isn't like a huge your eye test, a visual discrepancy. So, you have sports like golf and like even soccer. I like women's soccer too. You could enjoy that. Hockey is one of those sports too that even though hockey is just a super engaging sport, it really is a great sport to watch live at any level. There's something about it. It's so fluid and interesting to watch that I even think that the women's hockey, but I don't even know if there are a lot of women's hockey teams. I don't even know if there's no women's pro hockey league, right? I don't even know. And if there is, they're not doing a great job publicizing it. So in terms of these other sports, other than the NBA, I think that, we do need to do better. We do need to do better to make sure to help promote female sports, women's sports, women and the athletes, make them, publicize them, But, I don't know. Look, we just got to face it. We still are very much a sexist country. We are. It's just as long as for the same amount of time it takes to like weed out racism in our country, weed out prejudice and all this, it's, women are still dealing with that same thing. So, it's tough too, because like as a comic, I love talking about women on stage. You guys are hilarious. And you're also 50% of the population. It's not like there are like, however many species, like if I was talking about animals but I singled out horses and all I did was talk about horses. Horses could be like, yo, man, what about the ducks? What about the geese? Why don't you talk about the ants? Why are you just talking about me? If that were the case, you're right. Then it does feel like, I got a problem with horses. Because with all the animals I can choose from, I keep picking the horses. Yo, there's two. There's men, there's women. And of course now, okay, you could... Now there's subcategories of that too. It's it's either men that are saying they're women, or women who are saying we're men, or people that are like, well, we're nothing, we're none of those things, we're whatever, okay? You know what I mean? as a comic, when you're talking about that, it's not like there's a lot of choices, So it ain't about hating women. You're 49% of the population. So if men are 49%, women are 49%, and that other 2% are all the people, we'll lump all those other people into that other category that they want to be, whatever they are, non-binary and all that stuff. Okay, great. But 49% of the population, yeah, as a comic, it's okay that I talk about that too. It's just how you talk about it, I guess, But like I say, there's always going to be a butt of a joke. Sometimes the butt gets slapped. So, yeah, I just thought that was interesting, discussion about what's happening in terms of the pay discrepancy and what they're trying to do. But it's like, you just have to it's about money. It's about generating money, not about worth. It's not about do the female, the women's athletes, they do the same thing that the men's athletes do, okay? But they're the eyeballs on the sport that generate ad revenue. It's not the same. So therefore there's a pay discrepancy, But I feel like in those sports that, like I said, that it looks equivalent, like tennis, for instance, they should, but those are the ones that make a lot of money, So I don't know. It's a nuanced discussion, and hopefully we're just going to continue to get better, right? Race relations, gender relations. Hopefully we'll just continue to move forward and get better at it. But in the meantime, there's going to be these little flare-ups and things. And all we have to do is just have frank, honest, common sense discussions, Don't assume what the other person is thinking and saying and feeling, even if it makes you feel a certain way. I mean, I think that everybody, when they say stuff, they should add the words "to me." You have to add the words "to me." It's like, you don't say to someone like, "Oh, I listened to your podcast and you hate women." Okay, to you. Because when you say "to me," then it's like, okay, that's just your perception. But people put out their nonsense, So it is important that we frame these discussions correctly and understand that people are sensitive to certain things. It's like, if it's sensitive and you might have a point to make, you might even have a point to be like, well, when we talk about these kinds of things, it makes people think A, B, and C. Well, then that's us discussing it too. Then let's get that out there. So then if people hear us talking about it, then, if you hear two people from an opposite viewpoint actually having a frank discussion, an honest, open discussion about something, it might help you either strengthen your point or understand the other side better. I mean, that's just what we're missing. That's what debates and stuff are supposed to be for. Debating is supposed to be to get all the information from both sides, and then you make an informed choice. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll get there. All right, guys. I usually cut away from these kinds of things, but I thought, let's not cut away. I just want to talk to you guys once again about Helix Sleep, our great sponsor for the show. Helix Sleep, I have one, best mattress you'll ever have. I guarantee that for you guys. Helix Sleep. Are you having trouble sleeping, with everything that's going on in the world, with the pandemic, with the job, with, getting the vaccine, you're not sure? Helix Sleep is the place, man. You don't have to go to some crazy store anymore and lay down in a mattress to figure out if it's good. They have this great thing. They have a sleep quiz. Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes 2 minutes to complete, and it matches your body type and sleep preference to the perfect mattress for you. I mean, it's really great when you think about the questions that they have on it. Are you a side sleeper? I took the quiz and I got one because I'm a side sleeper. It's soft. It's great. I love it. I always feel good. But you need to know, because do you want a soft, medium, or firm mattress? Do you sleep on your side, your back, your stomach? Do you move a lot at night? They ask you all these questions and they fix a mattress right for you. All right. So this is really important. All right. So if you're looking for a mattress, you take the quiz, you order the mattress, it's matched to you. The mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You never need to go inside the mattress store again, like I said. Now, the thing you got to do, guys, is just go to helixsleep.com/Griffin. Take the 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to that custom mattress. Like I said, they have a 10-year warranty, and if you get to try it out for 100 nights, you get to try it out for 100 nights. If you don't like it, they'll take it from you for free. They'll even pick it up But I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. I'm telling you, you will. You're going to love this mattress. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Griffin. You hear me? helixsleep.com/Griffin. Check that out. I guarantee you'll have the best sleep of your life. All right, guys, we're going to end the show with one of my favorite segments to do. It's real world advice from a grown-ass man. Real world advice from a grown-ass man. I got these glasses, but they don't have the right prescription in them. So I have to but they're good for driving, but they don't have I'm like an old-ass man where I have to have the bifocal area so I can look down and read. So these don't have that, all right? All right, here's our questions for today for real world advice from a grown-ass man. I know both matter, but what's most important, morals or money? I don't like when people frame things like this. Both matter. Morals and money can matter. But if you're saying you had to choose between the two, obviously, to be a good person, it would be morals. But there's a moral way to make money. You know what I mean? And if you're not taking care of yourself and your family by making money, maybe that's immoral. You know what I mean? Maybe are you being moral if you're not taking care of business to take care of your family to make the money you need? You know what I mean? So my answer to this question is don't frame everything like that. It doesn't have to be one versus the other in these kind of things. So I almost sort of reject the question. But, you could be a moral person and you could be somebody that is trying to be compensated for the work that they do, So good luck, man. Some of these questions I get too, though, I don't even know if the people, sometimes it's just a lot of joke questions. So I try to determine if I pick the ones that are the real questions, All right. How do I hold conversations on race with my white friends who grew up in a bubble? Well, that's a lot. I don't know your whole situation, but I get the gist of this question is, the thing is again, this is what we were talking about earlier when I was talking about the athletes, You just got to find a way to have a gray area, nuanced discussion about things. If this is something you really want to talk about with your friends because they're white and you feel like because they're white, they have some sort of feeling towards you or towards race, and that's what's inspiring you to bring this up, okay, then talk to them about that. If they're your friends, you should be able to have an open discussion hey, guys, I'm feeling this way. But don't make it all about you. Make it about them too. Hey, what do you guys feel about this? Because then you can find out where people are coming from. Not everything has to be framed in race, gender, and sexual orientation either. I hate that we live in a world like that, because you also don't want to be the woke person all the time, man. You don't want to be the wokest person in the room all the time. That's just infuriating, man. It's on any level. You don't want it to be about race. You don't want to be the person that's always black people haven't been able to do such. It's if you're that person that has to bring that up all the time, that's great. All right. And I'm not saying not be that guy. Fight the power. Okay. But also know that not everybody's going to want to be around that all the time. But that's the cross you bear. Same thing with women. Guys, if everything's feminism, if it's always framed that everything we're doing, everywhere we are, we have to always worry about you're going to be that person that's oh, hell, good morning. Well, not for women. If you're going to be one of those people, don't be surprised if people don't want to hang out with you sometimes. My analogy for this is you at a bar with your friends. It's a party. Everybody goes to the bar and they're about to order drinks for the group. And then somebody says, oh, Bob's here. Danny's here. You know what I mean? Danny's here, and Danny's, he's in the program and he's recovering. So can we just all have ginger ales for Danny? All right. Everybody looks at each other and they're like, okay, this is our boy Danny. Let's do it. Everybody gets a ginger ale and you have a great night and nobody gets drunk and everybody feels comfortable. But the next time you go out, they're like, yo, we're going to go to that bar again. Some people might be like, is Danny coming? Because I want to get my drink on tonight. That's fair. That's a fair feeling. Okay? That's how it is to be around somebody who's woke all the time. 24 hours a day they woke. Bye. Don't want to be. Sometimes I don't want to deal with that, you know? It's like if you're with somebody, it's just like, oh, man, I've done like comedy shows, man. Doing a comedy show and you're talking to somebody, hey, who's on the show? And there'll be that one person. You say the lineup, oh, wow, men and women, whatever. And somebody's like, oh, well, this is all white. You're like, okay, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to like nitpick all the time, that's great. Like I said, fight the power, more power to you. But remember, there will be times when people just don't want to deal with that. So that's just, like I said, that's just the cross you bear. But anyways, and that's in terms of this too. Don't be that guy. You know, there's a time and place to bring that kind of stuff up, but these are also still your friends, whether they're white or not. But if you have a problem with your white friends, that's on you. And if you have friends that you feel like, oh, they don't really understand, well, you either going to take it as this is your job to school your white friends in your life and culture. If you want to be that guy, make sure it's worth it. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing it also just for yourself too. Do it for yourself, and you're doing it because you want your friends to like know how they sound. I mean, sometimes that's why we do things too. You know, you have somebody, a loved one in your life, and they might say something when you go, ooh, hey, you know, I don't want people to hear you say that because they're going to think bad of you because it sounds like this. You're trying to explain to them that way. You're like, yo, you know, someone might misconstrue what you're saying. So let me school you on this real quick so that doesn't happen to you. And then that person might be like, oh, I didn't know that. Or, you know what I mean? But however you bring up the discussion, you know, just be delicate because you just don't want to be that guy that's always woke 24 hours a day. Like, ugh. Not for me, son. Not for me. But good luck, homie. All right. So what was that one? Okay. Boom. Let's keep going. I need that motivation to work on my craft. I get caught up with life and I get discouraged. I answered this one on Instagram too, and I want to do it again here. It's like, look, I don't think the guy's discouraged. I think the guy's distracted. You know, when you know, I don't believe in the concept of there's not enough time. I'm a believer that you always make time for the things that are important to you. And how do you make time for things that are important to you? You have to be organized. You got a schedule. So I'm telling you, like, you know, that's what, use your iPhone. I'm telling you, know what, Rachel is great at this. Like if she has to go to work, she has like 5 different alarms that go off on her phone. It's annoying because I'm there. Sometimes I'm sleeping, but it's like, she goes, oh, that's my alarm to get up. That's my alarm that I need to be dressed by this time. Oh, that's my alarm to, if I want to eat, I got to do it now. And this is my alarm that I got to get in the car. I got to, you know, so she organizes herself that way. If you're somebody that gets distracted, if you're somebody that, you know, you're this person that I can't get stuff done, use your phone, man. Use these apps that they have, you know, set calendar reminders and say to yourself, all right, I'm going to work on my thing from this time to this time. I'm going to do this from this time to this time. You know, you start looking at your life and you might be like, oh, well, maybe I'm watching too much TV. Instead of watching TV, I could be doing this. Or instead of playing video games, I could be doing that. You know, so just get your life in gear that way. Just schedule and organize, and you won't be discouraged, because you're only discouraged because in your mind, when you're discouraged, it's because you want to be doing something else. But you are in charge of that. It's your choice. You know what I'm saying? This ain't government assigned. You're choosing the things that you want to do. So I believe that you'll be able to make time for the things that are important to you. And so, you know, just do that, my friend. All right. Good luck. All right, here's one. Super toxic relationship. Stay or leave. Fighting almost every day. I mean, leave. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we stay in these toxic relationships. I think because we're so insecure. Sometimes you get into a relationship and it goes good, and you start to think, well, this is as good as it's going to get. I'm never going to be with anyone else, so I have to make this one work. Or you have some sense of loyalty that you have. It's like, well, I don't want to be the reason, you know, that this didn't work, so I want to put all my efforts to make it work. But listen, if you're using words like toxic, You know. So the only effort you should be trying to make is like addressing that. Hey, I feel like we have a toxic relationship for these reasons, A, B, and C. And I would like us to work on this so we can move forward positively. And if that person can't get on board with you with that, then you have your answer. And you have to like hold your head up high and know that there is better out there for you. There's better for you. You can treat yourself better. So go out there and treat yourself better by working on yourself and then getting yourself away from anybody that you consider has a toxicity to them, that because that is just that kind of negative energy you don't want to be around. But if you care about this person and you see a light, you see I want to make this work, then you have to make the effort to make it work by addressing this stuff. Letting it fester and all that, that's on you too. Because then you're just going to come to a head and it's just not going to end well. So communicate, my friend. Communicate. All right. That was a good one. I had to lift my glasses up. I'm so sorry. I feel old. 33-year-old single father with 2 girls looking to date. Got any tips or tricks? Okay, listen, I don't have kids. I've never had kids, but I've seen this situation. Listen, man, you just have more to think about, you know? And what did he say? He was a single father too. You have a lot to think about. So whoever you bring into your life, you know that your kids are your priority. So you can make time too. Like I said to the other guy, schedule your time out. When it's date time, and I don't know when you drop this on whoever you're dating or how long you talk to someone before you go on a date. Are you chatting online first for a while? Are you revealing information, early? Are you like, yo, I'm a single father with 2 kids, so, I can only go out from this time to this time. I mean, are you revealing that stuff early? I don't know what your thing is, but you have time to do it, and you have to make that choice. So it's like when you get to know someone, I do highly suggest, like if you're dating apps, to be like, hey, let's get on FaceTime and, try to talk to the person, get to know, get a vibe, get a feel, talk about kids, talk about that kind of stuff. So, because you're not going to just bring some rando near your kids if you're trying to date. Now, if you're just trying to smash, I'm sure you already know how to do that. That's a completely different set of rules and energy that you're trying to, because that you could keep that away from your kids. All right. But if you're trying to date and you're trying to get serious with someone, how they feel about that person is important. So you need to make sure you crossing all your, check boxes with this person, that they're going to be someone that you would want to have near your children. So good luck with that, man. All right. Let's see. We're almost done here. This one I thought was funny, and I don't even know if it's real or not, but he said, how do you pretend to like people you really want to beat them down with a bat? Well, I mean, it is what it is. That's just about brushing shit off your shoulders, man. Not letting people get to you. Like, we have people that at our work we don't like, but we have to deal with. And that's all that is. You don't have to pretend to like people, but it's okay to be cordial and nice. It's okay to be like, you don't have to be standoffish. It's okay to say good morning. That's all you don't have to have a relationship with everyone in your life. Everyone you meet, you do not have to like exchange birthday cards with them. You don't have to pretend at all. Indifference is what you need, man. How many people you cross people's path all the time, and you don't have to, do anything more than you do. Now, if it's someone like a father-in-law, a mother-in-law, a sister-in-law, or like, your girl's best friend, and you just don't like her. I mean, there is still a way to, those are things you have to try to address. But just in general, you don't have to be buddy-buddy with every single person you meet. So just, you don't got to be standoffish either. You know what I mean? It's a fine line. You got to find the mix. Find the mix, but good luck. Here's one. I want to be a firefighter, but I'm 32 and I'm afraid I'm too old. Well, I mean, you won't know you're too old until you go try. If you go there and you go, hey, I want to be a firefighter, and they go, get your old ass out of here, you're 32, then you can't do it. But if you're in great shape and this is your calling and you always wanted to do this, I say go for it. Go do it. Go to fire school, because they'll let you know. Like, what are you afraid of? If you think you could do it, go try it. And that just goes for all of you, for anything that you want to do. Go do it. Just go do it. let them tell you you can't do it, but don't let it be you thinking you can't do it for some arbitrary reason or for some like unknown thing that you don't really know the answer to. So don't answer for other people. Don't put words in the fire department's mouth. You go, hey, where do you sign up? And they'll be like, oh, great. It don't mean that you have to, and 32 is not old, man. And maybe if you just, I don't know, you want to fight fires, go try it out. All right? Get out of your head. Last one. This one's weird. Like I said, I don't even know if this is real or not, but someone said, should I ask a girl even though I think she's a lesbian? Like, I guess should I ask a girl out? I mean, again, how do you know? I mean, if it's a woman who is already professed, hey, I'm lesbian, and if she's dating someone, then what are you trying to do? But if it's just some girl and she says, hey, I'm lesbian, and you want to go to her and be like, are you sure? Are you trying to confirm it? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Is it someone you hang out with regularly and you go, well, I'm attracted to this person. All you have to do is just ask. You just go, hey, I'd like to take you out. I'm into you, And if she goes, oh, well, you're barking up the wrong tree. I'm just not into you at all like that. I'm this. Then you have your answer. But if you go to her and you go, and she's like, oh, that's cool because I've actually dated men in the past or I'm bisexual or whatever they want to say her thing is, you never know. Stop speaking for people. Just go do it. Go try. I don't know why we don't do this more. I don't know why people don't just go, whatever you want, go try to get it. Go get your answers. That's really what I'm trying to say is go get the answer. Go find out. Hey, what's up? You want to go out? Because I'm into you. Then you put it on them. Then they're going to be like, yes, no, and this is why. And then you go, I'm cool. I tried it out. Move on. All right? All right, guys. That's going to be our episode this week of Riffin with Griffin. I want to thank our sponsor, Helix Sleep. Love them. So make sure you go take their sleep quiz. And once again, I want to thank my man for sending me these his and her watches. So check him out on Instagram, JJMONAGHAN. And stay fresh, guys. I'm gonna be if everything goes through and I'm gonna go doing this movie, I'll be in New York for a couple of weeks. So I'll be doing my podcast out there from my hotel room, in between shooting and stuff. So hopefully let me see if I can hit up some of my peeps out there in New York and get somebody on the podcast. Yeah, so I gotta bring my mics. Be able to, I got to bring all my stuff and see what I can get done. But thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Check me out on Erik Griffin Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and just keep being you guys, and we'll just keep doing this. And look out for my Patreon content. I recorded myself going to get my vaccine shot, so I'll put that video up. And Rachel and I are gonna do some more videos and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just out here doing it, man. I'm chill. I'm relaxed. And please keep your fingers crossed that my show gets picked up. Man, just keep that good energy out there for me too. And thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin, and I'll see you next week.